Greetings all, Frog here. Let's play GeoGuessr. We've been challenged by Ulrich von Schulteis. He's back for round 2, which is usually a good sign of many good things to come. This is a historical places and palaces challenge. We're getting right into it. There's some street view, there's some photospheres, there's some business view, there's somebody supporting the wrong-ass soccer team. God bless. How can you cheer for those pansies? Sorry, that was very inappropriate. But seriously, how can you cheer for Chelsea? God. Restauração. Oh, he might be Portuguese. Oh, he's Brazilian. Say, I see he doesn't understand. He doesn't. Brazilians, they don't know. They don't know the glory that is Man United. That's the only thing I can assume. So it's a Brazilian palace of some sort. Very nice grounds. I mean, they speak of money, which palaces should do. I'm assuming that the principal royalty of Brazil were the Portuguese. It's a lovely palace. The steps of the palace. Which I guess would be right there. Otherwise, there are no steps. Handicap is accessible to this palace. At least on the first floor. Can we go in? I'd like to go in. Oh, just like that, I made a bunch of school kids disappear and reappear over there. It's a magic trick. The gift shop in the palace? Just a really big mirror. Alright, well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to have to leave the palace grounds if we're going to hope to figure out where this is. So let's go try and do that. If we can't, and we're stuck on the palace grounds, we're going to be in trouble. In terms of finding a location. Can I get onto the street? Oh, I can. Okay, this is good. We can escape the palace grounds. Which means we might be able to figure out what Brazilian city this is. Because it's definitely part of a city. It's a place where they wouldn't necessarily expect a lot of English tourists because it's all in Portuguese. Cumlerb. I don't know what that means. Probably an amalgamation. Seems to be a lot of, I cannot think of the actual word right now for that. Not abbreviation, because abbreviation would be just like shortening. It's the one that where every letter stands for something. God, I'm a web designer. I should know this because those are two different things. It's abbreviation and I can't think of it right now. Like NASA is one of these things I'm trying to think of. It's not abbreviation. It stands for something. It's NASA. We're in Rio. Oh my god, this is going to drive me crazy. I know this word. I think it also starts with an A. We have palace. The steps of the palace. It's a little into the woods for you. No charge on that, by the way. It comes free with the price of admission. Oh my god. I should just look that up, because it's going to drive me crazy. It starts with a name. I don't know, the palace is over here somewhere. Oh, I have to actually click a location. Can you think? Alright, it's farther inland. Oh, it's part of that big park right there. It's now Museu Nacional UFRJ. No idea what that means. Alright, we got another palace. Let's get rid of that thing. Okay. I'm going to do something I don't very often. I'm going to flip over the chat here. Acronym. Oh, Jesus Christ, thank you. I knew you would save me. It's one of those roads. It's an obvious road. We're driving on the right-hand side of the N101. Clearly, these were palace grounds that have now grown over. They might have been vineyards that have now grown over, but they've definitely grown over wherever we are at the N101. There's the palace itself there. Exposição. Looks like we might be in Brazil again. Yeah, I wonder if Ulrich might not be from Brazil. European expat, perhaps. The N101 is a fairly long road. It goes down the eastern coast of Brazil. For all I know, it loops back in the north. But it definitely goes down the eastern coast. Nova Pagoda. Monsao, Portugal? Maybe we're actually in Portugal. This does look a little more European. Is there an N101 in Portugal? I do not know. Definitely European style road signs though, so we're gonna have to assume there is. Okay, Portugal is a lot smaller than Brazil. Let's find an N101. I don't see an N101. That's not how this road systems work. Alright, now I'm real confused. Let's keep going. Maybe it's Brazil, and that thing just still says Portugal. I honestly do not know. Or N101 is real small. Ooh, it could be. There's an N road. N6, N120. N3. Oh my god, there's no system. Damn you, Portugal. Estamos en Morelia. In Morelia? In Morelia. Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know where or how, however, so it's no help to me. Villanova is a university. My word. Obviously, it also just means new house, I think, technically, in Portuguese. Oh, this is not what I wanted. Ooh, yeah, let's be on the back roads of Portugal. That's 100% my plan. Oh, God, we're screwed. We're stuck. Alright. Sorry. We're here. Nope, way in the north. Barely in Portugal, as it turns out. On the N101, just outside of the Jardim de Palacio de Brejuera. This is, of course, where we were at Palacio de Brejuera. I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Don't care. We're on a balcony. It's a lovely balcony. Let's go out. Oh, all we could do is go farther onto the balcony that direction. Alright, that's not a good direction. Nice little park. Some people out there having a moment. Just a moment in the woods. Anything can happen in the woods. It's the throne room of this particular person. P2J. P2J. Well, Elizabeth is Elizabeth Regina, and she's the second. So this is the second of one of these things. Probably a Philip, maybe, or Paul. Whoever this dude is, likely. Or maybe that's the dude's ancestors. I don't know. Look at the wainscoting there. That's not what I mean. Look at the parquet flooring there. Wainscoting would be on the wall. I didn't want to go through that door. Fooled you. They blocked off the spiral staircase there, like the museum has. This is sad. Gabinete Emperor de Pedro II. Emperor Pedro. Emperor. Must be Spain then. Gabinete de Estudios del Emperador de Pedro II. Yeah, I mean, the Portuguese, I don't think, had an emperor. Spain did. Could you imagine wearing that dress? It's a lot of material, man. Frankly, there's a lot of material in all of these. Look at all that. All the material. Maybe the world was colder. There's something to this global warming after all. Boom, boom. Oh, there's another floor. Down we go. This is much more museum-like. And then we're back in more like a house. It really should do that. Clearly it doesn't, but it really should. I'm surprised I haven't found a piano yet, by the way. Actually, that might be... No, it's just a dressing table. Oh, a little private altar. A little private chapel right here. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. A little dining here. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I'm going to assume we're in Spain. Perhaps incorrectly. I don't know what the Emperor Pedro was emperor of, but it certainly wasn't the Holy Roman Empire. And it certainly wasn't the British Empire. I guess he might be one of the HRE, but I know... Oh, there we go. There's your music there. A little harp and a harpsichord. Actually, that might be an early piano. Yeah, it does kind of look like an early piano. Doesn't look like I have any strings, though. Very strange. Bum, bum. Little salon. Can we go out the garden? We cannot. Hey, I'm going to say we're in Spain. Somewhere in... Well, let's actually try and get to Madrid. Somewhere in Madrid. No, incredibly wrong. In point of fact, we were back in Rio de Janeiro. Crazy. This is a summer home in Petropolis. It's the Imperial Museum. Was Brazil an empire? Or I guess Portugal must have been an empire at some point. Did not realize that. Holy hell, the gilding in this. I think it's actually gilded. There's some nice fresco work up there too. I would not want to be buried in a church and have people walking all over me. Let this be a record. If I become really, really famous as an artist or something, and like I get the rights to be buried in state or whatever. Now, Viking funeral. Preferably on Lake Erie. Build me a nice memorial somewhere. I don't want people walking all over my dead body. It's creepy. It's taken by Studio 1111? Ah, 1111. Studio 1111. Make a wish. Look at that crest. It's a great crest. It might mean something. But it doesn't mean anything to me. Santa Lucia? Here rests someone. Can't even see the date so many people have walked on it. It does creep me out, like, to be the one walking in these places. I will not lie to you. It's a little creepy. Wow, not a lot of pictures here. I mean, it seems Italian. And then, yeah, and yet, there's Portuguese. Oh, God. We're in Brazil again, because of course we're in Brazil. We were in Brazil, we were in Salvador. What was this place? Igreja Convento de São Francisco. Okay. Nice palace. Maria I, Portugala Regina. Pia Felix Augusta. Okay. Avenue N. Duarte I can't read, that's too far out. Pacheco, maybe? More Portuguese. That doesn't look like the Portuguese flag. So obviously there were self-styled Portuguese emperors. Amador de Abelas. Outside of a modern city. I don't know. Third base. Willard van Schulteis has a lot of Portuguese in him, though, I can tell you that. Monte Obraio. Queluz. National Palace. Does this look like Portugal? Yes. If I were going to put a national palace in Portugal, I would put it in Lisbon, which means it's probably in Porto. Oh, it's in Lisbon. In Queluz. Palacio Nacional y Jardín de Queluz. The outer patio, which means we could have gone into it. Huh, bummer. Well, only one big miss. Not a lot of points, of course, because I'm not very good with Portuguese and Brazilian palaces, apparently. But very interesting locations. It was enjoyable. They looked good. It was pretty. I liked it. Came by Ulrich von Schulteis. If you'd like to send in your own challenge, of course you could do so. Just go to geocenter.ml, put in 5 locations like Ulrich did, and then send them to me in a private message, and I will add you to the schedule. For now, though, we're calling it here. Ulrich, thank you so much for sending this one in. It was very enjoyable. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. If you did, click the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated to everything that happens. Until next time, cheers.